First of all, thank you and welcome. We're here on a panel to discuss investing in growth, Qatar's evolving capital markets and global connectivity. It nicely fits into the theme of the World Economic Forum this year on a spirit of dialogue with a strong focus on unlocking new sources of growth and investing in people. Two institutions are really at the heart of the story. The Qatar Stock Exchange, the national stock exchange in Qatar, and a core marketplace for equities and capital markets activity. And the Qatar Financial Markets Authority, the capital markets regulator responsible for governance, regulatory oversight, and investor protection. QSE is implementing a 2030 strategy developed with key ecosystem players to build an attractive and innovative capital market with a wider range of products, services, and participants, supported by a sustainable, efficient operating model. And QFMA underpins this agenda through its focus on governance and regulatory oversight, promoting transparency, accountability, and prudent management across Qatar's financial system. Today, QSE and QFMA are advancing reforms across liquidity and listings while ensuring that growth is anchored in robust governance, clear disclosure, and strong investor protection. It's my pleasure to moderate the panel today and to invite the two panelists to the stage. First of all, His Excellency Dr. Tammy bin Ahmad Al Binali, CEO of the Qatar Financial Markets Authority, and also Mr. Abdullah Mohammed Al Ansari, CEO of the Qatar Stock Exchange. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me on the panel. What we wanted to do is to cover a couple of topics that I think are critical for developing capital markets. We have three topics. We'd like to start off with the liquidity topic. Would then move on to talk about investor confidence and governance. And if time permits, we have a third block, which is about regional and global market cooperation. But let's get straight into it. Again, I'm delighted to have you both here. Maybe start with the QSE on a question on liquidity. As Qatar looks to unlock new sources of growth, what does deep and inclusive liquidity need to look like in capital markets in 5 years from now?
Hello, hi everyone. So first of all, I'm really happy to be with you today and I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. And I hope this discussion to be light and fruitful to everyone in the room. So before I'm going to speak about this question, so let me give some colors and the context of the reason of the reform that we are doing right now. It's very important to understand the context of this. If you're going actually to look at the World Bank projection for Qatar GDP growth for the next 2 years, you'll find it lies between 6 to 8%. This is without fully capturing the North Field expansion and its associated project. Actually, if you go back in time and you look at the period between 2006 to 2011, when we had the last expansion there, while the expansion was for 200%, GDP grew by 200% as well. And now we are speaking about an expansion in the next 4 years, which is going to be 85%. And that's why our expectation for the growth is significant. And we are wearing the responsible hat here as capital market representatives, really to make sure that the capital market ecosystem is going to be able to capture as much as possible from this great growth for the economy. So coming back to your question about liquidity, I believe definitely liquidity is very important aspect for any exchange. Actually, this is the main difference between public equities and private equities is liquidity aspect. And this is definitely is the #1 priority for us when we are speaking about, when we are reforming the strategy there. So when we started to do initiatives in that aspect, we started to benchmark the global exchanges and global liquidity to know where are we right now and what we are looking to do exactly. And we have collected data that represent 80% from the global public listed equities. And we've run a lot of analysis, we've run regressions, we've done a lot of data mining, and we've taken even confidence intervals and very statistics, boring stuff, to be honest, that we've done. And at the end of the day, the conclusion was very interesting in terms of free float required for an economy in the size of Qatar, and the volume required for this, in comparison to others, definitely. And we did not get this only for the market, we get this even from sector perspective. So we know exactly where we should focus from sector perspective in terms of more free float, in terms of more of activity and more of liquidity. And the interesting part that we have mapped this out, and we know exactly which type of investor is more excited about what exactly, which sector exactly. And we are going to do our plan, and all of this actually is to approach the GREs, to approach the private sector, and to make sure that we're going to identify short, mid, and long-term targets. And all of these efforts to tailor our first IPO program, Qatar IPO program, which is going to be announced very soon once we are going to have the color on it. And hopefully we're going to have a version that will put a lot of colors in terms of number of companies. Hopefully some name of companies are going to be there in the pipeline. So this is based on what we have done as the first step there. Actually, some of the activities there as market making that we started already with QIA, and this activity is really targeting the order book health. This is actually targeting the order book health, and the main impact of this is the spread enhancement of 50%, and the depth of the market that has been enhanced 15 to 20% as well. So if you are going to look at where we started and where we are right now, we started to have 0 active market makers in our market. Currently, we have 4 local very active entities performing market making. We do have 2 actually local new entities are applying the pipeline, and we actually have interest from international parties as well. Another initiative that we're working with the QIA as well is active assets management, and this is actually is applying some enhancement in the type of investor we have, so some institutional blood in the type of investors we're having in our market. So we have invited some world-class investors who already started the initiative with us, and we do have a pipeline to add more, definitely. So just to recap of what I said, we've created very clear methodology. We have very promising target of IPO program, and we do have some current initiatives that we are working with very strong partners as well. So this is more or less just a summary of the very important aspect of liquidity that we are working in right now.
Well, fantastic, and thank you, and congratulations on what you've achieved, sort of bringing that together, that deep data analytics of understanding a market, and then getting the ecosystems really playing together, the market makers you spoke about, the issuers that ultimately make a stock exchange successful. Tremendous progress. Let me go to the QFMA and also stay on the topic of liquidity. At the highest level, how are you seeking to broaden participation and deepen liquidity in Qatar's capital markets? And what are the core principles guiding your approach from a regulatory perspective?
First of all, if you're looking to the whole world and geopolitical issues happen, and as a regulator, we're looking to reduce that risk. And we're looking to find more opportunity for the local investor and foreign investor. We in Qatar and the QFMA, we're not working as randomly. We have a strategic, the third financial strategic, which one issued in 2023. And it have the fourth pillar, it's focusing on the capital market, development the capital market from many sectors. And under that one pillar, it have many initiatives. And what we did last 2 years, it's a lot of things. One of them, we try to find another product for the market to help the market. And as a regulator, we need to keep the infrastructure ready from regulator, from law, from regulations, to make it easier for QC and another investor or the foreign investor to invest and in many products. We start to find another product, and we in November 2025, we listed in QC the fairest bonds as a fixed income product, and it's around 500 million Qatari riyals, and the yield around 4 to 5% within a period for 3 to 5 years. And also we approved 5 bonds and sukuk for many banks to be listed in Qatar. It's around total for 2.75 billion Qatari riyals. It's around 176 billion dollar. And if you're looking also for the 2024, the dividend was around 27 billion Qatari riyals. We try also to work for another product. We are in an advanced stage now for the REIT funds. That one, inshallah, it will be very soon, and we hope we can list it in 26. Another product also we are working on it. The new product, we are focusing on it from QFMA and with our partners, the QCB and another authority for tokenization to make it legal from our law and regulation and crowdfunding. And we're comparing us with the whole world and to see what the best and complying with the standards and what we need to do it for that product. We are working with many specialized consultation for that one. Also, we approved for the derivative market exchange. Also, it will work. And maybe this is the first time I can see it here in this panel, and I say it. We are in the single window platform that it's responsible to make it easier for faster and easier listed. And we have in the pipeline around 5 to 6 companies that they are ready now for the listed in Qatar Stock Exchange. And I hope, inshallah, in 2026, we'll see more listed companies with our partner and stakeholder.
Well, congratulations. I also have to say a massive range of, just products you cover from the equity side. Spoke about fixed income, bond issuance, the REITs, the derivative markets, and on top of that, tokenization and the new digital world that is happening. So for both of you, certainly a very, very broad agenda of topics you're covering.
Christian, just allow me to comment on something that Dr. Tommy said. I think it is not something usual when you see the regulator as being very flexible and being very open to do changes. Usually it's very rigid when it comes to the regulators there and actually overall world. So what we are leveraging on right now to have this cooperation and to take it to different level. Whenever the recommendation or the proposal is within the best practice, is within international standard, we see a great push, a great support from Dr. Rami and his team, to be honest with you on this.
I have to say you've almost taken my closing remarks now. I was about to say at the end, because I've worked with many capital markets institutions across the globe. And first of all, it's a rare thing that they both appear on a panel. And if they do, that they don't have opposing opinions on most of the topics. And it does make a difference. And I think you're seeing that in the interest that a lot of people have in Qatar listings and liquidity. If you allow me, I'll move us to the second topic on investor confidence and governance. And I'd again start off with the QSE. At the time of higher uncertainty that I think we're all experiencing at the moment, what are the most important components for building and sustaining investor confidence in a market like Qatar?
I think this is a very important topic, and this was one of our priorities in our strategy, actually. And how we are approaching this is by having a very solid and clear plan, and to announce our plan to our investors for them to see what we are trying to do. First, our strategy is always admit the issue. we are not actually in a place to deny any issue there. If there is an issue within the ecosystem, we are happy to go and to fix it and to work with our partners to do it. Second, we are working with all stakeholders. So we are building a partnership. We are not building a business with people. So whenever we're going to have the partnership with our brokers, with our custodians, actually we do have the partnership with Oliver Wyman, which is actually your entity there as well. So what we are looking for is to leverage this partnership to be able to have more brains around the issue to fix it. Third, which is very important as well, we tend to be very close to senior authorities because we do believe as an exchange, if we are not going to lead the solution, we need to be very, very, very major part of it. So we need to be a very major of any solution implementation there. And that's why you will see us always with Dr. Tami and his team trying always to build a partnership and to be there next to them. So let me tell you our mentality when we are approaching any issue with the investors there, because investors are coming with suggestions, with comments, and we really do respect this. So we only have 3 cases. First, investor is correct, and we need to do something, which actually it's our role. Second, investor is not correct, but because they don't have enough data or enough information, then we need to do something. We need to provide enough data and enough information. Third, investor is not correct, and he does have enough data and enough information, but it's a misunderstanding. And again, we need to do something. We need to educate the investor. So at the end of the day, we do take the full ownership. It is our problem. We need to do something for whatever is the case is there. So this is our mentality, and that's how we are approaching our investors.
I love that spirit of getting things resolved, working also, given my home base at the moment in the UK with more European capital markets. Investors are often taken for granted. And I think in a world of global capital, investors shouldn't be taken for granted. And the approach you're taking of really working through all the topics that are coming up are making a real difference. Let me move on and sort of get the regulatory perspectives. From your view, Dr. Tami, what do you see as the most important factors to strengthen investor confidence?
Actually, if we will see also, not forgetting that the economic uncertainty, and from that perspective, we're looking to confidence, investor confidence, and to looking for him from many ways, because our priority as a regulator to protect the investor, and by many ways, and we start last year to gap analysis between our regulation and to see. We start with corporate governance code, to compare it with international best practice and what we need to do and to change from that regulation and to make it more smoothly and easier for the capital market. And when we issuing that governance code, actually we change our methodology for Qatar Financial Market Authority from we doing any regulation and issue it directly. From that perspective, we changed it to first published for the consultation between all the stakeholder and the consultant and partner to get their opinion. And this is exactly what we did for the corporate governance code. And then we change it as if it's aligned with the best practice, and we can do it. After that, we issue in the governance code. In the governance code, the new corporate governance code, it have many things for the investor. One of them, for the foreign investor, can use the e-voting for any company he wants to use the e-voting. If he's in any country, he can use the e-voting for AGM meeting or EGM meeting. Another things also we put the more disclosure and transparency in the corporate governance codes. And also it's aligned with the ESG, IFSR S1 and S2. Another also regulation we establish it and issue it, the offering and listing and merger and acquisition rule book. That one, actually, we work on it long time, and it is a comprehensive regulation for all our regulation relating for the investor and listed companies. We make it all of them in one place, and to make it easier for them. And what we did also, the same methodology, what we use it in the QFMA, we issue it, we share it for the consultation with all our partner and stakeholder. And then we get their opinion about it. From their opinion, we see it, how it can be implemented in Qatar and compare it with the best practice in the world. Because we are looking, one of the objectives for Qatar to develop capital market. From that perspective, and we establishing and issuing the first time offering and listing rule book. And in the rule book, it have many things on it. One of them, which one we use it now for that listed sukuk and bonds and sukuk in the market. Another thing's also the REIT. It is there. We give the opportunity for all the listed company also they can buy back their share, and we put the procedures on it in the rule book. One was very important things also, the settlement from T+3 we made it 2+2. Actually, that one it happened when we also visited in the roadshow in London, me and Mr. Abdullah Al-Ansari. We sit there maybe for 2 days with all our stakeholders there, custodians, brokers, asset manager. We ask them what the challenge you have in our market, what you need from us. One of that requirement, and they ask about it to reduce the settlement from T+3 to 2. And now we are studied also to make it T+1 if it's possible in our market. The one of the important things we are doing as a regulator to monitoring the trade in the market, we use the 3 software. 2 of them is local development from QFMA, and one is one of the best in the world. It's Nasdaq surveillance system. And that one we established it last 4 months, and we get alert from that surveillance system. And the first time Qatar and the regions, we use Qatar through the surveillance system, we use AI alert alert notification.
Thank you very much for that level of transparency. You wanted to jump in as
Christian,
well.
so let me comment on some of the points that Dr. Tami raised here about London trip, and I would like to thank him, to be honest, to accept my invitation. It was really even not on time invitation, so it was like 1 week before the trip there, and he canceled a lot of meetings to attend with me. I really appreciate this. And the message was there for all stakeholders in London, that we are a capital market ecosystem there in Qatar. We have full alignment. We are there to fix the issues there. And we have the mandate now to fix a lot of the issues that they've been raised. So definitely we have benchmarked the issues to make sure that it's going to be in line with the best practice there. So, and another point, I believe, especially when we are speaking about investors' satisfaction, it's very hard for you to satisfy all investors, because some of the investors actually, they are not looking really to follow the regulation. And whenever the situation is like this, you will see another Dr. Tami. This nice Dr. Tami is not going to be there anymore. So you'll see the other face of Dr. Tami, who's going to be very strict with them to apply the regulation there.
Thank you for saying that. We're almost at time. We don't have the chance to get into details on regional and global market cooperation, but I'd like to, over the last 2 or 3 minutes that we have, to give you a chance just for closing remarks, and maybe you tap a little bit on that point on global and regional cooperation as well.
Yes, definitely. So just let me speak about some recent activities that have been done in the market there and how we see those recent activities. As example, one of the recent activities was the FMO for Ooredoo's shares that was last December there in the market, which actually it was a great opportunity for us to see what does mean for more free float there in the market. Ooredoo's the previous free float was 22%, while the more the FMO increased this by 5% which represent actually 25% from the whole free float for Ooredoo, while actually the volume after that increased by 40%. So the idea is we always encourage our companies, and I see some of our companies already here, and we have the discussion with them. Maybe we're going to have another round there to speak with them about it. And we are happy always to build the partnership. We are here to serve everyone, and we do want to make sure that we are identifying ourselves as a partner to everyone. I would like to thank His Excellency the Governor for his time today. I really appreciate the whole support he's giving for the whole capital market ecosystem. Without his guidance and without his clear actually vision, we wouldn't be able to achieve anything. So I would like to thank him for this. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Any final words?
Just I want to tell we did many change also. One of them for the foreign investor, they can own buy share until from 49% from the capital to now we give approval for any company they want from the listed company to reach until 100% from foreign investor to own the share in the company. And we allow the company also to give the dividends if they want to make it half yearly or yearly or quarter. And that one, I think it's a unique opportunity for any investor from local or foreign investor to buy any share. If you compare Qatar stock exchange and another country, you will not find that dividend options is there or to give the dividend. I think like what we are doing now in Qatar within 2 years, expect to see that the benefit for what we did within a few years is coming in the future, inshallah.
Thank you very much. I thought that was a very enlightening panel. Thanks for your thoughts and perspectives. You both have clear plans and strategies for 2030, and I'm sure you will succeed with those. Thank you very much.
Thank you.